I have been putting this one off because I know it's going to take forever, so I'm going to go season by season because they really have enough drama to be stretched out through the entire show and the movies. Carrie and Big is somehow the longest lasting relationship on the show despite how tumultuous it was. I would even dare to call them struggle love personified. Yet the show wants us to view this relationship as some Shakespearean epic love story where despite years of bad communication, public fights...
I hate waiting here for you.
Oh, don't be pissed.
I'm pissed.
Are we dating? I thought we were just sleeping together.
You string me along for 2 years and then you marry some 25-year-old girl after only 5 months?
Wait.
What is it?
You and
I, nothing!
Enjoy your dinner. Oh, already said that. Well, do it twice.
You're embarrassing me.
I'm embarrassing you? Well, maybe if you join me on the terrace like a gentleman, we wouldn't be standing here having this conversation.
Domestic violence, cheating, Julia Woods.
This is Julia Woods.
Quiet, nice. I want you to meet someone very special.
Julia.
A Judith Lieber purse, a botched wedding,
He's not coming.
a television,
A state-of-the-art flat screen.
and ultimately, a Peloton. They were somehow endgame. In short, the person Carrie is referring to in this iconic monologue.
I am someone who is looking for love. Real love. Ridiculous, inconvenient, consuming, can't live without each other love.
I have a personal theory as to why she selected Big, played by Chris Noth, to be her forever person on the show. It's the same reason why I think John Corbett, who plays Aiden, keeps coming back to reprise his role as the ultra simp. Side note, I think she has way more chemistry with Aiden than Big. Me thinks that this off-screen attraction is mutual. But anyways, let's just jump right into it because I have to do this for each season, each film, and that goddamn revival. We're gonna be here for a while. Okay, so let's just get this out of the way. If Carrie actually learned her lesson with this Kurt guy and not made a fourth mistake with him, then she never would have bumped into Big and began this merry-go-round of mess. She really should have just listened to Stan. After receiving some sloppy toppy from Kurt, Carrie immediately ditches him in her quest to have sex like a man devoid of feelings or attachment.
My turn.
I have to go back to work, but I'll give you a call. Maybe we can do it again sometime.
While she's feeling herself, someone slams into her and she drops her bag. Big helps by picking up only 2 of her things in a somewhat judgmental fashion. Ew, you're a woman and you have condoms and lipstick in your bag? Gross. But Carrie laps up the attention and is happy to see that he isn't wearing a ring. This awkward encounter leaves Carrie completely sprung. Later, she sees him at a bar when Samantha points him out.
He's the next Donald Trump, except he's younger and much better looking.
After lying about not knowing who he is, Samantha shoots her shot, but since Big doesn't like blondes unless he's trying to make Carrie jealous, he rejects her.
I have the key to the private room downstairs. You want a private tour?
No thanks.
Oh, and before this, Kurt got his lick back on Carrie.
I was really pissed off the way you left the other day.
You were?
Yeah, and I thought how great. You finally understand the kind of relationship I really want. Now we can have sex without commitment. I mean, whenever you feel like it, if I'm alone, I'm all yours.
Right.
Carrie almost concedes to walking home when Big pulls up in a limo and kidnaps her. They begin talking and then Big likens Carrie's job to that of a sex worker.
What do you do for work?
I'm sort of a sexual anthropologist.
You mean like a hooker?
He also clocks her immediately when she talks about the idea of having sex like a man.
Right now I'm researching an article about women who have sex like men. You know, they have sex and then afterwards they feel nothing.
But you're not like that.
Well, aren't you?
Not a drop.
What's wrong with you?
I get it. You've never been in love.
Completely shooketh by Big's ability to read her so effortlessly, Carrie is intrigued. He drops her off and she asks him if he's ever been in love, and like a true pimp, Big responds,
Absolutely.
Carrie later attends a fashion show and bumps into Big again at the after party. This will be a recurring theme for the two because although they live in a very large city, they constantly run into each other. The girls were previously discussing how much they hate models because somehow all of the mediocre looking men who they live amongst are pulling Naomi's and Kate's. So imagine Carrie's horror when she sees Big has successfully pulled a Naomi himself.
Oh,
Carrie, I'd like you to meet Misha.
Hi, you were great in the show.
Thank you.
Suddenly, I felt like I was wearing patchouli in a room full of Chanel.
Although, I don't think she should be too jealous. Later, Big runs into her at a coffee shop, remembering which one she said she writes in. She is delighted to hear him tell her that despite banging tons of beautiful women, at some point, he wants to be with a less attractive woman who makes him laugh.
Well, there are so many goddamn gorgeous women out there. But the thing is this. After a while, you just want to be with the one that makes you laugh. Know what I mean?
Carrie is once again impressed by his backhanded riz. After constantly bumping into Big, they actually have a date set at one of Samantha's PR functions. But true to form, Big cancels on her last minute.
Oh, something came up. He's not gonna meet me.
Until he shows up anyway.
Hey!
Hey.
And then he instantly ditches her.
You're here, you have an hour, let's have a drink.
Well, I was outside trying to get in for 30 minutes, inside looking for you for 20 minutes, so that leaves me with just enough time to tell you that I'm out of time.
I'm telling y'all, Big is a pimp. I'm sure seeing Carrie playing with Timothy Elephant's pierced tongue didn't help though. Take 2. Big invites Carrie for a drink thing. We later learn why it's just a thing. Big's ass friend Jack is whining about his second divorce and I guess needs Big's shoulder to cry on.
Hi, how are you?
Marvelous. Going through my second divorce, just getting everything the first didn't.
I always got confused as to why he would ask Carrie to join him when this is clearly a guys only thing. Carrie leaves, one of the few times we'll see her exert any self-respect. Because Big is the most slippery man she's ever met, she instead continues messing with Timothy Elephant as a distraction. But he didn't have any toilet paper in his house, so Carrie dumps him. Later, she runs into Big with his stupid friend who is working on divorce number 3. This time, he sets a proper date.
Now that I've got Jack hooked up on sale again, maybe we could have dinner sometime? Anywhere you want.
Call me.
So now, Big and Carrie finally have a legitimate date set. Although she's planning not to sleep with Big, as soon as she sees him, they get it in. Of course, Carrie is a little disappointed in herself for not delaying the gratification, although when she dates Aiden, she'll blow a gasket for him not instantly plowing her at the furniture store.
Why don't you want to sleep with me?
Post-coital Big looks pretty meh about it, while Carrie is already planning how she's going to spend his money. They end up going to a Chinese restaurant, and Carrie sees her douchebag friend Mike eating with a woman he regards so little that he didn't even introduce her.
Hey,
You look great.
not too naked?
Just naked enough.
Hi, I'm Carrie Bradshaw. I'm an old friend of Mike's.
Libby Bialik.
It's so nice to finally meet
So I'll call you.
Okay, great. I left the table wondering why Mike didn't want to introduce me to his date.
When she talks to this guy later, he explains that he treats her like crap while still using her body because although they get along, that's not who he wants to be with long term.
She's warm and unpretentious, and here's the best I've ever had in my life. She's not beautiful, and we don't have a lot in common. Look, all I know is that she's not the right woman for me in the larger sense.
AKA, she is a placeholder. Fuck this guy. Carrie uses Mike's deal with Libby as her latest intrusive thought, that Big is ashamed to be seen with her. She gets more supporting evidence when the two are taking a leisurely stroll. She tells Big about a major accomplishment of hers, her column's ad being displayed on the side of a bus. Having just escaped the
Sex on the first date cars.
she is happy to be seen with him when he runs into old colleagues, but then he doesn't introduce her to them.
Phyllis, how are you?
Yeah, everything good?
Yeah, everything's dandy.
So, good to see you.
Good to see you again.
Good seeing you.
Bye-bye. Cheers.
Who is that?
Oh, it's just some guy who skied with an Aspen.
I tried not to let it bother me.
It doesn't help that Big takes Carrie back to the same place they had dinner and then tells her that he can't make it to her bus celebration. She calls her douchebag friend to confirm if Feng Hua is indeed
The kind of a place that men take women they don't want to be seen with in public?
Mike pretty much says it is. He's an asshole, he would know.
Yes, it's perfect for that. Oh, sorry.
The evidence was mounting. Was it possible that I had become Mr. Big's secret sex girl?
Here's Mr. Big. Oh, he couldn't make it. What do you mean he couldn't make it? I don't know, it's a work thing.
I have to note that Libby dumped his ass, which is why he showed up to her bus party alone.
Hey, I thought you were gonna bring Libby.
Oh, yeah. I finally asked her to join me in public. She turns me down. She told me she met somebody else who doesn't have my problems with intimacy.
You go, girl! After seeing her bus photo vandalized, Carrie knocks back a few glasses of champagne and then shows up at Big's unannounced.
I just came here to tell you that if you're embarrassed or ashamed to be involved with me in any way, that we can no longer see each other.
Despite not being invited in, she barges inside and immediately starts drinking his liquor. Then she goes on a rant about how she thinks Big is playing her.
You won't introduce me to your friends. You bring me back to that restaurant where men take women they don't want to be seen with. You won't come out and meet my friends. You have me in a niche. Like I'm only a particular fragment of the kind of person you think that you should be dating.
She thinks Big is listening, but he's really just coming up with more game to spit.
Well, I think Feng Hua's is the best Chinese food in the city, so that's why we went there. The guy we met in the street, I couldn't remember his name, which possibly means I have Alzheimer's, so that's what that was about. And this afternoon, I had courtside tickets for the Knicks, and that's all, folks.
My thing is, why didn't he say any of this beforehand? Carrie actually wasn't in the wrong here. I think she had a point because he canceled on her without even explaining why. And he still could have introduced Carrie to those people even if it was just as a friend. But with Carrie, she is easily impressed and accepts his on-the-spot explanation. Then they go for round 2.
So you and me, then maybe this is for real?
Could be.
So now, Carrie and Big are dating. They're making out in the middle of the street and she's ditched her friends. It's getting serious. When Carrie remembers that she still has friends, she goes to dinner with them and catches up on the weeks, or even months, knowing Carrie, of new developments that she's missed out on. As the girls are filing out of the restaurant, Samantha sees Big with another woman.
Isn't that Mr. Big?
Carrie, completely unable to get her head out of her own ass, assumes Big is just chatting with a friend because there's no way possible that he could be on a date with someone other than herself. She greets him and instantly realizes that yes, he's on a date.
Oh, Carrie, this is Julia Woods.
I strongly believe that Big was on a date with his main girl and that Carrie was the placeholder. More on that later. Big actually introduces who he's with this time, and Carrie asks to speak with him in private.
Are you on a date?
Sort of.
I thought you said you had a business thing tonight.
I said a dinner thing.
Also, I can't believe I'm siding with Big here, but he did say it was a dinner thing. Carrie even said it herself when she was talking to Miranda.
Big's got this dinner thing.
I thought you said you had a business thing tonight.
Carrie is so pissed off that she tells him to enjoy his dinner twice, and then she hits him.
So, then enjoy your dinner. Oh, already said that. Well, enjoy it twice.
I can't believe it. He's seen other women.
Then she says this.
True, we had never discussed exclusivity.
Because they have such terrible communication, Carrie is expecting Big to magically feel the same way about her that she does about him. This is a common theme that will get her heart broken in the future iterations of this doomed relationship. Big reaffirms their plans for the weekend and throws in an I Miss You Baby to his Riz collection, but this time Carrie isn't as impressed.
I'll pick you up at 8. I miss you, baby.
He said, I miss you, baby.
At their weekend plans, Big runs into yet another woman he had relations with who wants her passport back.
Melissa.
I've been trying to call you.
Yeah, you know,
Still have my passport.
she's a friend I once traveled with.
Internationally, I would imagine.
Then they meet Max, who will later photograph Carrie being fashion roadkill.
Stop taking my picture.
Big introduces Carrie as someone special, and Max instantly assumes it is Julia Woods, aka the same girl that Carrie caught Big on a date with.
Max, I want you to meet someone very special. Julia.
Actually, it's Carrie.
Finally fed up, Carrie realizes that Big is the ultimate player and leaves, sick of his red flags hitting her in the face one after the other.
How many women are you dating?
In the tri-state area?
Well, let's see. There's me, Julia. Oh, and let's not forget International Melissa.
I'm not doing this here. Come on, I mean, what do you want from me?
Nothing. I don't want anything from you.
I have to go, I'm sorry. I felt like a fool. I had gone so far out on a limb with my feelings that I didn't realize I was standing out there alone.
Goes to a party where she meets this unibrowed specimen, Jared. Because Carrie still operates from an adolescent mindset, she uses Jared to make Big jealous once he informs her of his attraction to her.
Hello?
I just want to let you know that I'm at this very cool party for very cool people under 30, and this very cool novelist wants to take me home. And he just put his arms around me. Here, say hello, Jared.
Hello, Jared.
That was Jared.
Carrie, just get over here.
No, you get over here.
Come over here! Why don't you come over here? Come over here! Come over here!
I can't. I don't know where you are.
I'm at the Luna Park Cafe. Just meet me out front.
To punish Big, she makes him wait at the wrong entrance. Then she argues with him about it.
What are you doing back here? You said to meet out front.
This is the front.
This isn't the front. This is the back. I've been waiting out front for 30 damn minutes.
You see those doors? That's the front. You were waiting at the street entrance.
The street entrance is the front entrance.
Depending on where you're coming from.
After this petty back and forth, Carrie finally has the chance to tell Big how she feels. But she doesn't.
I've done the merry-go-round. I've been through the revolving door. I feel like I met somebody I can stand still with for a minute, and... Don't you want to stand still with me?
You dragged me out to a park at 3 in the morning to ask me if I want to stand still with you?
Yes.
Carrie, you realize this means nothing, right? Big and Carrie have progressed enough in their relationship to now begin sleepovers, but apparently not enough for typical questions such as, were you married before, to have been asked.
Threesomes? Ever done one?
Sure.
Really? With who?
My ex-wife.
Suddenly, my column was the last thing on my mind. You were married?
Yeah, I thought I told you.
No, you didn't.
Suddenly, Carrie is pissed, and I assume it's because the idea of being someone's second wife isn't as romantic sounding as being someone's first. But then again, Big likes to withhold information, so it's very possible that he never told her that he was married. Instead of just not seeing him anymore because he's too damn mysterious or having a real adult conversation with Big, Carrie decides to transfer her rage onto Big's ex-wife. So she stalks her to get some information on who she's silently competing against.
He had an ex-wife named Barbara who I quickly discovered worked in publishing. My plan was simple. I'd pitch her a steamy bodice-ripping paperback, which she'd probably reject, but at least I'd get 5 minutes face-to-face with her.
Carrie?
Much to her chagrin, turns out she's proto-Natasha.
Special Olympics chairwoman.
Sorry, I haven't hung it yet. I need something for this Women in the Arts luncheon. I helped organize them on the steering committee, so.
Not only is she perfect, but she actually likes Carrie and wants to set up a lunch with her. Before they meet up, Carrie allows her insecurities about Barb to get to her while she's making love to Big.
Nibbling his earlobes. How sweet. Let me show you how it's really done.
Hey, what just happened? Where did you go?
She asks about why he got divorced, and he gives her a vague answer.
I didn't tell you I was married because it was a long time ago.
What happened?
Alienation of affection followed by divorce. Let's not talk about the past.
At lunch, after a few glasses of champagne, Barbara opens up to Carrie and lets her know that, surprise, surprise, Big was a cheater.
He had a wandering eye. Wandered right over to my best friend.
Carrie brings this up after not seeing him for over a week. Big does his usual pimp game and only brings up the details after the fact.
You tell me you have an ex-wife. You tell me you guys had a three-way. Yes, I asked, but you dropped this big bomb, and you don't even give me any details. You don't even tell me why you broke up.
I cheated on her.
What happened?
Alienation of affection followed by divorce.
She told me at lunch.
I know you know. She told me she told you.
See, that's another thing. You didn't tell me that you're still talking to her.
Listen, wait a minute. The reason we had the threesome is because we were both looking for someone else. Do you know anyone who's right for me?
And once again, with a vague explanation and a simple kiss, Big is able to distract Carrie from her very real concerns. After the girls attend a wedding, Carrie calls up Big and gets yet another bomb dropped on her.
Well, why did you get married?
I was a fool in love.
Oh, that is so sweet.
And then I was a fool in divorce court, which is why I'm never getting married again.
Suddenly, I had to concentrate on breathing. Could I date a man who would never get married?
Trying to make Big jealous again, she tells Big about her plan to marry Stan, who Big already knows plays for the other team.
I got a marriage proposal last night.
Really? From whom?
Stanford Blatch.
I thought he was gay.
However, she brings up her concerns to Big during dinner when she tells him that she does want to get married someday, although when the situation actually materializes, she literally throws up, has a panic attack, and grows a large rash on her stomach.
Look, I do want to get married someday. I mean, maybe not today, but I don't want to... I can't date somebody that won't. You know, what's the point?
Definitely too much salt. I thought we were having fun. sauce on the lip, right?
Carrie, this man is not serious. Every single time she voices her concerns about how Big is acting towards her, he uses the deflect and kiss method, and it works every single time. Big and Carrie are seemingly smooth sailing for a little bit until Carrie farts in bed and loses her shit over it.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Then when they don't sleep together for a few nights, she takes this to mean that he's no longer attracted to her and their relationship is doomed.
You know what? I'm exhausted. You mind if we just call it a night? Good night.
That was the first night we slept together and didn't make love. By the middle of the next week, it was 3 times in a row, and I was beginning to worry.
When she's venting to Miranda, Carrie lets her know that she's so consumed with impressing Big that she can no longer be herself.
I farted in front of my boyfriend.
You farted. You're human.
I don't want him to know that. He's this perfect guy. You know, he walks around his perfect apartment with his perfect suits. I mean, just perfect. And I'm the girl who farts. I think I'm in love with him, and I'm terrified that he's gonna leave me because I'm not perfect. But something about him, I mean, you should see me around him. I'm not like me. I'm like together Carrie. You know, I wear little outfits. You know, sexy Carrie and casual Carrie. Sometimes I catch myself actually posing. It's exhausting.
Despite this depressing red flag, Carrie is still determined to force Big to want her, so she shows up to his apartment in red f***me pumps and ridiculously tries to distract him from a boxing match. This doesn't go well.
Very nice.
Baby. Carrie. Oh, man. Jesus, Carrie, come on. Would you knock it the f off? I'm trying to watch this fight. Just
Fine, I'll leave.
Carrie even ends up revealing her main insecurity to him.
Well, maybe I'm not perfect. Maybe I don't fit into your perfect, life with your perfect apartment and your perfect pay-per-view fight. Maybe I should leave.
I stood there and waited for the obligatory, he's coming to stop me, 10 seconds. He didn't.
After not hearing from Big for a few days,
You have no new messages in your mailbox.
Carrie repaints her kitchen to keep her mind off of not having any sex. Then Big randomly drops by and they have the most high school ass exchange.
Why didn't you call?
Why didn't you call?
Come over here! Come over here!
Y'all should already know what happens at this point, but I'll explain. Carrie tells Big she had a meltdown. Big doesn't bother asking any probing questions. He changes the subject once he sees her drug-fueled neighbors humping in the window, and then he decides he wants to compete with them.
We can do better than that.
Once again, no resolution was reached. Finally, Carrie sees Big at church with his mother, and after turning him down for an impromptu coffee break, Carrie leaves but says this in her narration.
It was one of those awkward relationship moments where you feel like you know nothing about the person you thought you knew everything about.
Because she desperately wants to become a part of this withholding, adulterous, mysterious king baby's life, she tries to weasel in on his mommy time, but gets rebuffed and takes his invite to the Caribbean as a consolation prize.
Come on. I want to go to church with you and your mommy. How about this Sunday?
It's just a private little thing my mother and I do, just the two of us. You want to go to the Caribbean next week? Could both use a vacation.
So you all excited for the big vacazione?
Oh, I don't know. I can't help feeling like it's some sort of consolation prize for not letting me in his life.
Because Carrie is a
habitual line stepper,
she drags Miranda with her to go spy on Big at church. When she sees that, yes, he is indeed telling the truth about this being an intimate event, they leave, but not before Carrie disrupts the entire church by accidentally dropping a Bible from the balcony. Carrie, being Carrie, sticks around before shooing Miranda away. This is her moment. She needs to meet Big's mom to feel like her relationship with Big is progressing towards something serious.
Morning.
Morning.
Mother, this is my friend Carrie. My friend Carrie. My friend.
I searched her face, looking for the light of recognition. But there was nothing.
It was lovely meeting you.
Then she and Big have it out.
My friend, Carrie.
Oh, you show up at church after I asked you not to. What are you trying to do, test me? Why all of a sudden interest in meeting my mother?
Well, has the woman ever even heard of me?
My mother doesn't need to meet another girlfriend.
Oh.
I didn't mean that. I'll introduce you as my girlfriend when I'm sure. I have to do things on my time frame.
We've been going out for months. I really don't know what else to say to you.
Since Miranda is too good of a friend to Carrie, and because she knows Big ain't shit, she meets back up with Carrie, who complains that
He introduced me to his mother as a friend. She never heard of me. That isn't a good sign. Can't get inside. I don't know what else I can do.
Carrie is hell-bent on rushing the shit out of this already DOA relationship, so right before they're about to head to St. Bart's, Carrie demands that Big, who hasn't even mentioned her to his mother, tell her that she's the one.
Just tell me I'm the one. You don't have to tell your mother or the whole world. Just tell me.
Of course, Big can't say it because it's not true. So Carrie finally decides to break up with him.
I love you, but I can't.
Big seems more annoyed than anything.
So that's it?
Let's recap. Over the course of just 6 months, Big has canceled plans with no explanation,
Oh, something came up. He's not gonna meet me.
Oh, I can't make your party tomorrow.
omitted important details from her,
You were married?
Thought I told you. I didn't tell you I was married because it was a long time ago.
What happened?
Alienation of affection followed by divorce.
You dropped this big bomb, and you don't even give me any details. You don't even tell me why you broke up.
I cheated on her.
She told me at lunch.
She told me she told you.
You didn't tell me that you're still talking to her.
You know, I just didn't realize you were dating other women.
distracted her valid concerns with sex,
You know, the reason we had the is because we were both looking for something or someone else.
Do you know anyone who's right for me?
But
What was that all about the other night?
That was me, having a meltdown.
Okay.
look, I do want to get married someday.
I thought we were having fun. Saw something.
reduced her to his friend, and dated other women while seeing her. And this is only the first season.
Unfortunately, my New York guy was still seeing other women.
Are you all right?
No!
I don't want you to uproot your life and expect anything.
How can you be engaged? You have a problem with commitment, remember?